6. And that would put him where he needs to
That
be.
would put him at 270.
That puts him at 270. And then we have Pennsylvania, which is those 20 electoral votes. And then we still got Georgia, which is 16. And Georgia is trending blue. So, yeah. And then if he gets those 2 little, it was like 4 up in Maine or something like that they were saying. But, so we still got Nevada in play, which is the 6 he needs. We still got Pennsylvania, which is 20.
Right.
And we got Georgia, which is 16.
Okay. So Georgia.
That's all that's left in play on the board.
Georgia.
Oh, and North Carolina has 15. And right now, it's 48-7 to Donald Trump's 50.1. But only 94% of their votes are counted. That could change at any minute. 96 in Georgia, and Biden is at 48.8. And, you know, if we want to just go ahead and call it, I'm going to call Nevada for him. He's at 49.3, with 75% of that coming in.
So even if he gets, even if Trump manages to get those 2,
he doesn't have enough.
He doesn't have enough.
No.
So Nevada, and pretty much, I'm gonna give a shout out in Nevada. Shout out to my sister, Sharisa Turbin, and her husband Vitaly Turbin, and and she joined the NAACP when she got down to Las Vegas, and she started pushing. And if you think I'm bad, my sister is the bomb, mom.com. So Sharisa, shout out to you for keeping it alive here. Ohio failed us.
No, Ohio did exactly what it was supposed to do.
Turn red.
It's always been a red state. Ohio has always been a red state. We've lost that cliche of so goes Ohio.
So goes the elections.
We've lost that because Ohio is not that state anymore. We've got to pass the torch.
Right.
Well, I mean,
if you go outside of Cuyahoga County and any other inner cities, pretty.
It's all red.
It's all red. It's all rural red, all that. Yeah.
It's all red.
So the thing about it is like we can't, some things you can't help. But here's the problem. Trump didn't benefit none of them farmers, nobody. But somebody said on their Facebook that those farmers have land and that's why they voted for Trump. No, those farmers are broke. Don't let that land fool you. You got to maintain and keep up land. So calm that mess down, period. So calm that mess down. So everybody that won their race locally, judges on this show and people that showed up, we're 3 for 3. So you need to come see us very, very soon. So 264 to 213, Biden's magic number is 6. Mm-hmm. Nevada takes the pot turns blue pretty much. We can just say, you know what, this thing is over. Trump doesn't have enough to catch up.
No, he doesn't.
So why is it? And this is the thing, because I got to give a shout out to you, Jay. The reason why is because you've been having updates all day. Did you get any sleep, first of all?
Man, listen, I went to sleep about 2 o'clock. I was back up at 6 this morning. I was up at 6. I had like 6 cups of coffee. I'm tired. I mean, I took the day off from work. I'm tired.
Right.
I am tired.
It has been super tiring. Here's the thing. Shout out to all the poll workers that were out yesterday, especially at JFK, John F. Kennedy.
These poll workers were very nasty.
Some of them were.
They were very nasty.
And
so we working one day, okay?
Yeah. And some, like the people at you got to hire some new customer service people at the Board of Elections, because some of y'all just like, you can't do this, you can't do that. And shout out to the people that was working on campaigns yesterday. My ankles are still sore from yesterday. Shout out to New Voices for us calling these people as far as getting voter registrations. Donovan Atterbury, Tracy Gates, Yvonne Lynn Drummer, Alana Garrett, for calling, for doing this, for pushing the narrative, for having these rallies at the Board of Elections, all that. This is going to come to a close. The one thing that I didn't want is that this drag out 2 weeks. for these recounts. All the way up until December. Remember Bush Gore?
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that I didn't want. Because we all know, no matter how bad the incumbent was, it's hard to beat one. But
I think he knew early on that when he started to see the map, the thing about him is that what happened was with Trump, his people, his base listened to him. They didn't do all this early voting, mail-in voting. They didn't do any of that. They waited till the day of. So when they started counting last night, you got the in-person voting numbers. That's what you saw yesterday. And that's what kind of catapulted him out the gate. But then as time progressed, they started, counting the ballots that were mail-in ballots, absentee ballots, and all that other stuff.
Right.
Then you started to see Biden pick up a little speed. But I'm not a fan of mail-in, a mail-in ballot.
the absentee, yeah.
Absentee,
Yeah, I'm not. The thing about it is like, I got my mail-in ballot. I just went down to the Board of Elections and just did it on. Like, if you had a chance to go down to the BOE and early or do it at your poll location, do that. But there was so much. Like, there were 6 precincts in John F. Kennedy, usually air spread everywhere. But because of the pandemic, you had to shrink it a little bit and do the social distancing. And that's why the line was long. The line was probably going to be long anyway.
So Sean Howard just said there's 185,000 votes in Georgia. Trump has 58. He's leading by 58,000. By 9:30 p.m., Georgia will go blue and game is over.
So there's 195.
185,000 votes in Georgia that are going to go in Biden's direction.
And Trump is leading by 58.
58, yeah.
58,000.
Yeah.
So that leads.
So even if I'm gonna go ahead and call him. Even if President Biden only gets 85,000 of those votes, he's gonna.
He's going to.
Yeah, it's over.
The problem, the thing about it is like, those votes, and like when we say every vote matters.
It does.
It does, because that goes to the electoral, because it has to be popular in each particular state. And those of you who didn't vote, I'm going to say this, who complained on Facebook like some bitter baby daddies, or bitter baby mamas, or bitter or bitter punks who lost a bet or something like that. Shut up. I want y'all to shut the hell up. I came in here to cuss everybody out that didn't vote. I came in here I came in here really, to be honest with you, on some rah-rah shit. Because I was going to let everybody have it.
No, you can't. Listen, Larry.
What?
You don't come in on no rah-rah, because what you know. And that's why people are always gunning for us, because they wish they were us. So you got to understand, when people do that type of stuff, we giraffes. They can't listen, man. Whatever.
So here's the thing.
Don't even go there.
You know what? And the thing about it was like, and some of y'all mad about I'm gonna move out the country if Biden wins. Biden. Get it? Biden. So
this race, this whole election is being strategically played out. The media has a lot to do with it, because if you've been watching this all day, you can see that certain media outlets are withholding.
Yeah,
numbers.
they dragging this out. They're dragging it out.
And the numbers were
they already know
last night,
right?
Anyway, and now they're just dragging it along because either there's no news. Because I ain't heard not a damn word about a COVID case today. Have you?
Right, no.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, the numbers are up a little bit in Ohio, but
did you hear anything about people being hospitalized? I mean,
nah.
Has the coverage been the same?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, it ain't.
Okay.
It hasn't been the same.
Okay. All right.
No, it hasn't been the same.
All right.
So.
But he's gone. I mean, he can try to pull, and this is the reason why he stacked the Supreme Court. Now it all makes sense.
Right, because he knew he was going to lose in the area.
It wasn't looking good. So I know that his camp has been looking at the different counties. They've been studying the numbers and statistics. I think he knew long before he started running, his chances of getting reelected were slim to none. And he had to pull out some big numbers in order to get there. And he just couldn't do it. And that's why he started inciting this fear about don't mail your ballot. You know, they're going to be stuff is missing, and
they're going to steal the election.
They're going to steal the election. He knew the trickery, and he
there
knew
was
what to do.
One, there was no Russia outside interference. 2, there was no dirty emails on Joe Biden. 3, you had a better candidate that knew what you were doing, because listen, you like Joe is as slick as they come. Anyway, he know what he doing. Everybody talk about Sleepy Joe. You don't know what he doing. Yes, he does. You won't be in politics for 40-something odd years without knowing what you doing as far as campaigning. You just don't.
The one thing about it is, you know, everybody was kind of harping on the fact of, you know, Joe and Kamala, you know, the 1994 crime bill, you know, but at that point in time, we had, you know,
we had a problem.
We were at war.
We were at war on drugs.
We were fighting drugs, and drugs was ravaging our communities. And, you know, people were dying at an alarming rate from drug overdoses. They were either being killed because they're fighting over turfs. But what people are failing to realize, some of your most influential politicians at that time were black, and they backed that bill.
Right.
So they had to do what they needed to do to curb the crime that was happening. So the reason why that bill was drafted was to cut down on the crime.
Right, exactly.
And people don't seem to understand that. And they're saying, well, all these black men were incarcerated. Well, you know what? Fuck all the black men that were incarcerated. I don't mean it in that tone.
Right.
But what about all the black men that are killing black men? Can we talk about that, or nobody's ready for
Nobody ready for that conversation because nobody they don't want to. Nobody wants to snitch on each other.
We don't want to talk about black men killing black men, but we sure in the hell want to talk about a white man who co-authored the bill, didn't write it completely. We're going to talk about that and bring that up and say, oh, well, he put all these black men in jail, and Kamala, she's a black woman. She did this and she prosecuted all these black men. Everybody knows that drugs in California were out of control.
Because the gangs were out of control.
Everything was out of control. Just like we're out of control in the city of Cleveland right now. Every day, a young black man is being killed. A young black man was killed, went to open his door in his apartment, and was shot dead. But ain't nobody ready for that.
One of LeBron James people was killed, and he's talking about, you know, nobody should, you know, somebody please help me find a gun. Nobody ready for that, because
we don't want to talk about the crime that's killing black men, killing each other. We don't want to talk about that.
Nope.
Until we discuss that and get that on the table and figure out how we gonna fix that problem. Miss me with the 94 crime bill. I don't want to hear no more about a 94 crime bill. That shit was 16 years ago.
What about now? What about the pandemic? What about the racism now? Okay, black men being locked up by police. In the Trump administration, black men were killed by the police. Look, put me in jail. I'd rather be in jail so I can fight the case rather than have the cops knee on my neck to the point of suffocation. Because your supporters, the Trump supporters, the trumpets who work in law enforcement, feel like because you can say these evil things and tweet these evil things, they have the right to kill you. That's why he had to go. And all this talk about economics, he ain't no economic genius. The man filed bankruptcy more times than I can count on my finger. What is wrong with you? And whoever voted for Kanye West, take your high asses to sleep.
What did he get, like 80-something thousand?
50,000.
And some of that came out of my home state of Mississippi. I'm a little concerned because he was on the ballot.
No. I'm a lot. Like, you need to go.
Are you serious?
You need to go and slap some folks in Mississippi.
Are you serious? And then y'all let Mike Espy down in Mississippi. How y'all gonna let Mike Espy down in Mississippi? How? After all the shit that Smith said, how she wants to be, you know, front and center, you know, witnessing a public lynching of a black man, you mean to tell me we don't have enough black people in the state of Mississippi to get this wench out of that seat? Y'all failed Mike Espy. Failed. And on the break, I'm gonna see what the mix is.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry about that.
African American, and
I'm sorry about that, Jay. So
it's terrible. And I know Mississippi is always, it's probably never going to change as a red state. But Warren County, Hinds County, Cleveland County, they always come in blue.
Right. We're going to take a break. This is Easy E. Any last words? Any last words for you Trump supporters? So when we come back, we're gonna call Deanna Moore Taylor, talk to her for about 10 minutes, and then we'll talk about this more when we come back from break. The Headline Eye on Nerve DJs. What's up with my? What the? Hey Natalie, hey Jessica, hey Tara. What's up, Keith? 4,000 in Ohio today for the corona. So what you looking at now?
Huh?
What you looking at now?
Mississippi?
Oh, the mic. Man, they was gonna let him down anyway. Be right back.